Zira Calhoun of the Brooks Automated team, and today we will be presenting on the importance of communication. So we chose communication as our big focus because it was a very important part of our process throughout IoT and the grant program as a whole. In internet engineering, we worked together as a group, not just on our final project, but also on the other assignments we were given in that class. As a group, it was our jobs to make sure that we were all understanding the work we were doing in the labs and in the coding problems we were given. And if anyone was struggling or lagging behind, we would stop and go back and just help them troubleshoot. So that was extremely important. And then also, we needed to have really good and effective communication between us and our professors. If there was an issue going on tech-wise that rendered us unable to do a lab, or if we were having a bit of trouble in calculus, it was important for us to reach out to our professors so that they could give us the best support that we needed in order to succeed in RAMP. And I am eternally thankful for all of the professors and all of our teachers throughout this entire program, because as soon as a concern was brought up by us, they were willing to be accommodating and to help us out. And that would not have been able to happen had we not communicated our issues and our concerns with them. So in terms of looking at communication, we all understood what communication is, but we wanted to get a bit more information on how to communicate effectively, especially in a business setting. And that knowledge was given to us by our industry mentors, Brooks Automated, who were gracious enough to have a Q&A with us and answer all of our questions and give us a lot of great advice. We'll talk about that later on in the presentation, but they definitely did help give us a perspective of what communication looks like in the real world, not just between the company, not just within the company, but also between them and their clients and other people that they work with. All of the advice and the insights they gave us, we were able to see in action and to put into play through our final project. We worked on a door stopper, and that was hard. A lot of the mechanisms required troubleshooting. We hit a bunch of roadblocks. For example, I was coding the servers in the beginning and the servos, excuse me, and my servos stopped working. I had a problem with my board and I was no longer able to test the code. And in order for us to succeed in that regard, I had to communicate to my group, hey guys, my servers aren't working. And they jumped up and they were like, yeah, okay, send us the code and we'll help you test it out, we'll help you troubleshoot, like all of this stuff. So working as a group, we were able to learn how to effectively communicate with each other, as well as to effectively communicate with the people around us. We had to keep constant contact with our mentor and our professors in order to make sure everyone understood what was going on and what we were working on. And it was especially important because we were remote, and it wasn't like I could put something aside because I'll see Amanda and Selena tomorrow, or, you know, I could ask Professor Chandra to come look at my code. We all had to be extra proactive in terms of communication because COVID definitely made it a lot harder to communicate effectively. So we had to find ways around that, around the virtual roadblocks that we faced. So I'm going to pass it over to Amanda, who is going to talk a bit more about our doorstopper project. Zira Calhoun of the book.
Internet of Things. What is Internet of Things? Internet of Things is the interconnection of uniquely identifiable embedded computing devices within the existing internet infrastructure. What is our project? Or doorstopper. Doorstopper is a doorstopper for dorm rooms for when you or somebody that doesn't have a key to the room has to leave for a short period of time, like how college students use bookmarks, duct tape, etc. Doorstopper is different from those other methods of holding open the door because it sends the person or people who have the keys to the dorm an alert after a short period of time for security reasons. How does it work? Shown by the graphic below, when the button is pressed on or off, it goes to the on button code if the button's pressed on. Then it logs the time and the date info to IFTT. And then after that, at the same time, it moves the servo down 90 degrees, blocking the dead latch of the door. After it logs the time, it sets the timer in the code for 3 minutes for an average time to be out of the dorm for a short period of time. And then after that, it sends an alert to IFTT or Andafruit, and then notifies you on Slack or whatever messaging platform that you want to use. And then checks if the off button has been pressed or not, moving the servo back up. And if not, another timer is set for 1 minute, and then it just reminds you again. Here's a picture of our door stopper. It's in a 3D printed casing that I made myself. And everything's contained inside of it, and with the servo arm on the side. And here's a picture of the code that I used to make the servo work. And here is a picture of the boards that we used. We used the Wi-Fi booster pack, the TI booster pack, and the launch pad. And to Selena.
Hi, so I'm here to talk about Brooks. We had a mentorship with Brooks Automation. They support semiconductor and life sciences. They also value good quality for their products, definitely quality over quantity. For supporting their semiconductors, they create robots such as vacuums, atmospheric, and robotic controllers and systems. By supporting the life sciences, they help out with basic research on drugs, discoveries in biology, preclinical and clinical research, cell therapy, genomics, molecular diagnostics. By supporting life sciences, they help basic research by studying samples, sample processes, service, storage systems, and data analysis. They also help preclinical and clinical research by biotech and pharma. They have cell therapy by making the transport handling devices and storage. They have genomics by manufacturing the sample collection kits that are used from for other companies. They help molecular diagnostics by developing the molecular diagnostics comprehensive sampling, management, storage, and analysis. This is Brooks' guide to communication. We asked a series of questions to understand how a company would work in communication. We asked how Brooks communicated effectively, and they stated by emails, virtual communication, leadership communications, company-wide bonding, project teams, reports, and weekly meetings. We asked how this could make a company successful. They said how town halls and quarterly reports allowed them to engage with each other and keep each other in the loop at all times, and that one-on-one communication was necessary. We asked what type of communication should be stated. They said SWOT analysis, which is strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, which means if one group strength is another group's weakness, they can work together to make something great. And we asked what can go wrong. They said if there was no communication or something wrong was being told, if there was a judgment call that was not supposed to be in place, and if not following up after an email, which could signify a difference between a company and Brooks. Brooks likes to know how a person feels, how the company feels through personal communication such as phone calls and meeting up. Also, no documentation can really cause a company and their communication to go wrong. When we put all these together, we've noticed that we've done this and we do this throughout our IoT project, throughout our IoT class, throughout our calculus class. We used our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and threats to create our door stopper. We used Amanda and Nazira's strength in coding to help us create this code that will move the servo up and down and send us a text. We used Nazira and I's presentation skills to create a presentation that will show off our project and what we learned. We learned how like businesses and even schooling can use the same type of ideals and advice and communication to engage and grow. Yeah.